Welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, gamers of old, gamers of new. It's Lethal here with Lethal Gaming, and I'm gonna bring you another cast game. Guys, today's game in particular isn't the most best game I ever played, but there is a unique strategy here, and I want us to watch it, learn a few things from it, and enjoy the strategy. Before we continue and get into the details, I want to introduce the players. Blue is Lethal playing as the Malians. Red is HHHSSWW playing as the Turks. Whatever that stands for. Who has horns? So C World War Turks. Something like that. Have no clue, but it definitely stands for something. Guys, today's strategy is a unique strategy. It revolves around Malian's team bonus. I was practicing with the Malians and I was utilizing. Oh, oh, oh. 1 second, guys. Let's see this deer. Oh, very nice deer lure. One deer under the town center. Another one right next to it. Not bad. Early deers, guys. We did not mess up. Let me go back to what I was saying. Malians have a great team bonus. Many teams bonuses and whatnot. The one in particular is barracks units +1 pierce armor per age starting from feudal age. So in the beginning of feudal age and then castle age and then imperial age, you get +1 pierce armor per age for a total of +3 pierce armor for their infantry troops from the barracks. Boom, fairly close to the TC. Not bad. And I was practicing Man-at-Arms Rush with this strategy because pierce armor offers your infantry to take less damage from arrows. That's the unique thing about pierce armor. So you can fight against archers a little better. You can definitely walk around TCs a little better, so on and so forth. And also, you would have to avoid cav technically, but also you can always just mock the cavalry. Yeah, we got pierce armor. We don't got normal armor. Low key, build 1 or 2 spearmen, and you can be gooch with this strategy. But Malians have many team bonuses, guys. We are utilizing our food fairly well, and we're definitely playing a normal game. And 9 on this board. And then notice how we build our windmill. We have a space between these two so that villagers can gather real tight. This would have been more ideal on this side, but this house was in the way, so I did not do that. And Malians have, guys, they have a lot of different strategies that you could do with them. There are other civs that possibly would be better for this strat, but because of that unique pierce armor bonus from the civilization, I decided to do this rush. Let's quickly take a peek at Red before I continue talking about my strategy. Guys, notice how he is also deer luring. He has 4 on this deer, 2 on this deer. He has 5 on this boar. We're not going to criticize him. He did very well this game. But guys, I say a minimum of 8 on a board just to saturate the food. It's not a big deal, but once you get into higher level gameplay, it's kind of necessary. People highly recommend it. You don't see anything less than 8 for the most part. Sometimes you can get by with 7, but 8 to 9 is like the most ideal number. He has quite a few villagers here. He's going to probably split them up. Send maybe a few on berries. Start killing a sheep. And so on and so forth. This is nice. He has 8 villagers on the sheep, all surrounded. Getting a boar. He has 1 boar left, so that's good. And let's see his boiler. Not the best boiler. Always try to get under the TC. He is house capped. And that's okay. Guys, this game is fun. It's a learning process. And was that micro? Because he just moved these from here. There you go. There you go. There you go. Perfect micro right there. Villagers right next to the windmill. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to minimize walking distance. This strategy, guys, is a difficult strategy, but unlike our villager pillager strategy, I would rank this strategy a 3. Villager pillager strategy is a 5 out of 5 for difficulty. You really need quick micro, quick macro as well. You need high APM and EPM because you want to be very effective with your villagers. For this strategy today, guys, we are going to be doing a rush, siege tower rush with our long swordsman. You don't see long swordsmen played that often in this video game, guys, in AoE 2. If you're new to AoE 2, welcome. I hope you enjoy and learn a few things about the video game. Notice how we have a decent amount on trees, 3, 6. We're trying to go to the castle age as fast as possible. We seeded some farms. We have all of our sheeps ready to go, cows and sheep. We got how many? 5 guys. 5 to 6 on a sheep is ideal. You can go for 7 to 8, which I used to play traditionally 8 on sheep all the time. I saturated the food really well, but sometimes I like to split them up as well. So that's just all kind of up to you, because essentially you might have to deal with them later. And if you're focused on other things, it's better that not all your villagers are gathering sheep, so to speak. But that's just kind of a perspective, temporary perspective, because once you get good at the game, you can do anything. Our goal here is to pretty much have enough resources, a balance of gold, wood, and food. We have a 10-minute feudal age timing, which isn't bad at all. And we are not really rushing to the castle age, but we want to get there at a good time. Red has advanced to feudal age. Lethal drops the barracks. This is the first building you want to build, and highly recommend a market to exchange resources. Let's see what blue does. I mean, red does. We're watching blue. Red is dropping a market. Look at that. Really high food amount. Cutting 4 on these trees. Not the most effective method of cutting trees, guys, because these villagers will have to walk around. 3 on here, 2 on here. That's totally fine. Could send these 2 to this tree right here. He has 140 gold. He's barely mining gold, but notice what he's going to do. He has 6 on berries. He will pretty much sell and buy to go to the next stage. Sold some wood. He has the 200 gold he needs. Now he just quickly has to stop villager production and wait a second for that food to come in. Very little food. Could auto drop it. If he dragged these villagers, boom, there he goes. Auto drops. Now click on the castle age. Solid work by red. Solid work by red. So a blacksmith and a market. He has a wood advantage over us. Ooh, a little action here. Okay. Lethal picking on to HHSSWW Scout. Definitely saves the scout. Lethal had the first hit, so he would have come on top of that battle and would have won if he stayed back. Notice the delayed castle age timing, guys. And that is partly due to this strategy. We have built the barracks. We built the market. Now we're building a blacksmith. We could have definitely sold and bought more resources, which I believe I did do that. But I didn't do it to the most effective way possible. I could have sold. I still had extra wood, essentially. Guys, notice 7 on the sheep, but 1 villager is trapped. This is why you want to put him outside. Don't go too far into your town center. Notice the research. We're buying men-at-arms research. Notice how we built these structures. Let's take a look at Red's POV real quick. Red does not see what's happening in our base. Red does not see what's happening in base. Red cannot gain any information, so to speak. Still chopping these stragglers. 4 farms. 4 on berries. Going for an early castle. Going for an early castle. Not bad. 5 on stone. Setting another one. Lethal is building a house. 20 out of 30 pop. Halfway to castle. A little over halfway to castle age. Red has reached the castle age. Notice the upgrades coming in. Scale mail armor. That's going to give us +1 pierce armor. +1 normal armor. I believe those are the numbers there. Notice how we just earned research supplies. It will reduce the cost of our militiamen, men-at-arms, and any upgraded, pretty much, long swordsmen, 2-handed swordmen's champions. Reduce the cost by 25 food. So we purchased that before we start creating our men-at-arms. Now we're building our men-at-arms. We're almost getting the castle age. Notice the wood. We almost have enough wood for our siege workshop. We have 4 on gold, which is more than enough. We're definitely trying to get more on food. So we have 8 + 5. Definitely plenty on food. Siege workshop goes down for Lethal. Lethal is doing a unique strategy, guys. I will be going back and forth, talking about myself in the game and the separate perspective. Let's take a look at Red. Red already has 1 TC. Second TC drop. Still gathering the stone. Take this villager off. Don't be a straggler. Go to stone. Go to something closer. Definitely going into the macro, guys. All-ins are very important in closing out your opponent. Because if you don't close out your opponent early on, he will have that economy advantage over you. And in most games, in most scenarios, economy advantage over the opponent will win the game for them, especially in games like Arena. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, guys. A little scout fight is going to happen right now because economy advantage is economy advantage. It always beats all-in strategies. We need some more gold, guys. Especially once it goes into the late game. Lethal forgets that the Turks have a free upgrade for their scouts throughout the ages. So that scout cavalry turned into a light cavalry. Could not win the fight there because this light cavalry is an upgraded cavalry. Rip. Little mistake. And I was like, oh, right. He's Turks. Of course, he has all the upgrades and free techs. Lethal in the Castle Age. Let's see what the strategy entices, guys. Drops the Siege Tower. Notice how I'm transitioning after the Siege Tower purchase. I'm sending more villagers on food. I'm like, definitely gonna need more food. Oh, let's readjust that farm real quick. Make him look nice, fine, and dandy. I'm building men at arms. I need that food. And I'm thinking, guys, this is my first time doing this strategy. It popped into my head. Was it executed the most effective way possible? Not really. Did it work? It did well? Yeah. It actually wasn't that bad. We have 4 villagers cutting wood here, 7 here. Guys, that golden number. Could rebuild it by now. But we are also trying to utilize the wood to build more farms. I am currently saving for the research. This is why Lethal has paused his production. There we go. Long Swordsman, 150 food. I think it's around 100 gold. Pretty sure it's 150 food and 100 gold upgrade. And getting housed once again, not the best thing for an all-in strategy, guys. Notice chainmail armor. More pierce armor, more normal armor. I'm fairly certain it's +1/+1. Could be +2/+1. I'll have to definitely look those up again and again and again until we have him down. Long Swordsman research complete. Didn't take long whatsoever. Lethal is saving up troops. 6, 7, 12 Long Swordsmen at the moment, guys. How many do you want? I would say a deal for a surprise attack is 15 to 20. But I'm like, YOLO swag. Let's go. Let's see what this siege tower does for us today. We start villager production again. And we're loading it up. This is where it gets difficult. You want to fill your siege tower up to the max. And you want to bring it here. There's 2 options, guys. Remember, you got to focus also your economy while you do the tower rush. It is difficult, but it is possible with practice, guys. Here's 2 options. You either go as fast as you can. Here we are loaded, and then we unload. Or you bring it here, hide in the corner. Hopefully he doesn't notice. Build a few more Long Swordsmen. Have these stragglers catch up to your siege tower so you can drop them off all at once, guys. This is a surprise attack. Lethal has, boom, dropped them off over the wall, guys. Notice what the siege tower does. It drops troops past the wall, so they pretty much get a free cheat code. Red, however, has a castle up. Lethal at 55 pop. Red at 61 pop. Full eco. Instantly buys fletching. And still hasn't started producing troops. Monastery, definitely collecting all the relics. Guys, I should have been aware of the relics, but I totally forgot about them. Let's focus on the action. The Long Swordsmen are putting in work for Lethal. They killed several villagers. Bloodbath, Rip, Arena Lemosino. Send our Hail Marys to these villagers. Finally, Janissaries are being produced from the red player, HHHSSWW. Lethal is doing a lot of lethal damage to the TC. It's going down, guys. The strat is working. 5, 6, maybe 7 dead villagers. I wasn't counting. 1 TC going down. Let's take Fog of War off so we can see more. More infantry. Long Swordsmen being dropped in. Guys, notice the Pierce Armor. 1+4. They tanked the tower. I mean, the town center's arrow fire and volleys quite nicely. A total of 14 Lux Swordsmen rushing in. This is where lethal starts to fall off. Notice how Janissaries, they are gunpowder troops. They are anti-infantry troops. This is what you want to build as a Turk. So he does have an advantage here. Starts picking off one by one. Has a little group of them. Lethal's like, oh snap, what do I do? Okay, let's do as much damage as we can. The production has ceased for Lethal. These guys are straggling, chilling. Multitasking is at the extreme. Let's focus on the main action. He is running, trying to pick off more villagers. Can't take this town center. Alright, let's take the battle. Boom, 2 conversions for our red player. Lethal decides to take down the monks. Rip. The brothers in Christ are all gone. And the volleys and the stall, guys. Notice the stall on Red's eco. Red has definitely been stalled. Rebuilding a town center in a more safer area where it's walled off. Several long swordsmen left. What are they going to do? They can't fight this amount of Janissaries. Let's take a quick look at Red's POV. 75 population. Notice that population difference, guys. 3 town centers. That's what it does for you. Eco, overall in 1 town center. These 2 decide to run off to the side. The siege tower loads up and dips. Yeah, we got nothing to do here, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what about me? Pick me up. These 2 decide to go here and harass several stone villagers. They get picked off fairly easily from the Janissaries. 17 attack, 1 armor, 8 range, guys. Very powerful, strong castle age troop. This siege tower quickly just slides in his DMs like, hey, castle, what's up? These Janissaries slowly follow and will be returning home. Notice the quick reaction with Red. The castle was definitely a nice defensive. I think without the castle, that would have been a GG. Because he wouldn't have had access to the troops. I would have taken down 1 town center and continued to take the others. 84 pop. Red is doing well. Popping out 3 villagers at a time. Let's go take a look at Lethal. 55 population. This is where I try to stay in the game, be positive, but I did have my downsides. Buying the researches. Still hasn't dropped a TC. Thinking, oh, it's over. Our all-in didn't work. We probably don't have enough damage. Right, guys? I made a mistake. We do have a TC. We have 2 TCs. Only popping out 1 villager at a time. This is probably because we're definitely focusing on other things. We got a few more men doing their kamikaze. And a whole bunch of Janissaries cleaning them up. 54 population. Definitely at a disadvantage here. Our all-in didn't defeat our opponent. And I'm like, you know what? Let's stay in the game. Let's continue. And this is where we're going to kind of learn from our mistakes, guys. The rush was great. Did a lot of damage. Killed quite a bit of villagers. Could have definitely maybe fought his army, but then he would pull back. So I was thinking eco instead of fighting his guys, because if I fought his troops, he would pull back to the castle and play cat and mouse with me. Instead, I was like, boom, take this down. Let's go take out another objective. Now we're definitely going all in eco. Buying wheelbarrow, handcart. Don't forget your wheelbarrow. Dropping a 30C. We're going all in as well. We're going to try to go to the Imperial Age a little sooner. Guys, just need 1,000 food. We're pretty much at the gold. 800 gold is the requirement. So we are way past the gold requirement, actually. And I decide I'm going to stick in this game. I already kind of feel that he's going to be rushing me. So I decided to go build a town center on the out. And I was going to go build an outpost. But that's not the case, because we noticed it right away. Notice how the TC is deleted. The castle drop goes forward. Look at Red, guys. Big mistake. 2,100 gold. That is the relic bonus. 4 relics does give you a lot of gold. But he doesn't need all these gold miners. He could definitely have more on food and wood to go to the Imperial Age faster. Most people will not buy food with their gold, but I would. If I had 2,000 gold, you could buy Imperial Age right now with this amount of resources. Red is going in for an aggression. 105 population. 19 Janissaries, guys. They're being upgraded. They have their armor, their pierce armor. They have additional armor. Pierce armor. They are making short work of this barracks. Red is serious. Red is mysterious. Dropping a forward castle. These 2 are defending. Hey, brothers. Traitors. Join the wrong side. We'll see you later. You'll get what's coming. You'll get what's coming. He drops the castle, starts firing volleys at the house. Notice the transition for blue. Lethal has dropped 2 siege workshops. Thinking, what do I do? Okay, boom, boom, boom. 4 archery ranges. Guys, skirmishers can fare well with janissaries. Janissaries is technically an archer troop, and skirmishers counter archer. Guys, think of them as an archer troop. They don't fare well with skirmishers that well. Solid reaction timing by Lethal. Definitely dropping in the archery ranges, guys. Another stable going down to help support this composition. Guys, why the stable? Blue's already thinking that, red might be going cavalry if he doesn't kill him on time. So blue's already prepping that anti-cavalry. Let's notice this a little bit. No. Boom, auto attack, guys. This was definitely a micro mistake. On Lethal sides, should have not auto attacked. I didn't expect him to do that. I thought he would fire, but instead he wasn't probably paying attention to his army. And rip, missed that shot. But look at all that AOE damage. Half of them are all weakened, and a third are probably almost dead. Look like about a third. Let's take a quick look at red, guys. Notice the population different. Going up to Imperial Age, popping out villagers, 128 pop, 130 pop. Let's look at Lethal. This disadvantage, 85 pop. Also going up to the Imperial Age, though, managing to stay in the game. Building a few mangonels, starting to pop out those skirmishers. Buying several upgrades. Always getting house capped this game. That's a huge no, guys. You do not want to get house capped. Always have your little Jane or Frodo. And commence Bob the Builder with him for eternity, guys. Build houses with 1 villager. That's a little tip I got from Hera. Watching Hera's games. Definitely has some solid videos. Highly recommend go checking him out. And whatnot, guys. Notice the castle drop. Lethal is going to the next age. Castle without the hassle. Imperial Age offers trebuchets. Might as well start taking out the castle. That is kind of the game plan here. Ooh, solid hit. 4 Janissaries go down. Notice the snipe. 1 for 1. Still poking around a little bit. Boom. Lethal should be focusing more on his military. More on engaging and defending. Red backs off. Lethal patrols. Should have had taken at least 1 more shot. Imperial Age is up. Trebuchet is queued. Siege Tower is chilling like a villain, guys. Think of this as an outpost. Why is this outpost here? You'll see in a second. Red, however, is definitely chilling with his men. Building another defensive castle. Dropping a barracks. And attacking from the distance. Hey, the traitors are back. They are attacking our houses. They are raiding our base. Way to be converted to a new team. Blue is starting to go aggressive. Red is going aggressive as well. Poking on those innocent villagers. The trebuchet is sieged and it's starting to besiege the castle. Boom! What a solid hit. A little over 600 damage. They are putting in the work, killing villagers. Lethal goes into defensive mode. Notice the queuing. Getting house capped again. 17 skirmishers. 2 mangonels. Definitely quite defensive. Red has decent amount. 33 janissaries. But not able to come in and kill Lethal yet. Let's take a quick look at the populations, guys. Red is at 144. Lethal is starting to catch up. What a huge change. Almost. He's already capped at 135. Pretty much almost caught up to Red. Notice why this is so important, guys. I moved this siege tower and I noticed the stable drops. I'm like, yep, I guessed it. Notice the camels coming out. He's going to be going into cavalry. I'm starting to slowly pop out some camels. But one big mistake, Lethal, here is only on 2 stables. And isn't researching the cavalry text. That's one thing I struggled with this game. I should have invested more into the cav technologies. I'm buying Bodkin Arrow. Going to increase from 5+1 to 5+2 for our elite skirmishers. Because currently his army is mostly janissaries. Red is making a mistake too, guys. HHHSSWW is not building any siege weapons. Not building his own trebuchets to counter this treb. Definitely chilling. There is no reason for him not to build any siege weapons. He is buying plate barding armor though. I do know this is coming, guys. His Hussar rush is gonna supplement his Janissaries. Lethal is building what he needs to build. There are 8 camels out on the field. There are 12 Hussars, but they are upgraded, guys. These camels are not really upgraded. +1 attack, +1 normal armor, +1 pierce armor. Yep, that's how the researches go, guys. +1 normal, +1 pierce. Lethal instead is still investing, and I felt that this was a mistake during the game. I was like, maybe I should stop building elite skirmishers, because 41 elite skirmishers are on the field. That's more than enough to fight against 32 Janissaries. At this point, Lethal should be buying. I should be buying elite camel, which I was like clicking on it repetitively. I think it's a 500, 450 gold, 500 food research. Clicked on it repetitively, didn't buy it. Instead, I buy husbandry, bloodlines, and let's check this Clash of Titans. Sorry, guys, I misclicked there. And the battle begins. The mangonels go forward. They are attacking. They are trying to get a little line of fire onto the Janissaries. Solid hit by Lethal. Took out at least 7 there. But notice how all the cavalry are gone. All the camels are gone. The elite skirmishers are not going to cut it. The Hussars, upgraded Hussars, are going to wrap around them and do some serious damage because they are not an anti-cavalry troop. Notice another mistake Lethal's doing. Could be pulling back to the castle. Now he's pulling back, but it's kind of late. Most of the army is dead. Rip, rip, rip. The castle would have definitely helped. Could have played a little more defensive in this circumstance. Once he knew the raid was going to be a little too much, could have pulled all his army back, left the trebs, but did not do so. Now, Red comes in with a full sweep. The camel riders are not fully upgraded, so notice how they are slowly getting defeated by the Hussars, 1v1ing them. Hussars are capable of killing camel riders because camel riders, even though they are an anti-cavalry troop, when upgrades aren't there, they're at a disadvantage, guys. Notice that disadvantage. Rip, rip, rip. Grieving all my men. At this point, Lethal's like, oh, we got nothing. There's a town center out here. There's a castle out here. Built those stables a little too late. And now Red is totally flooding into the eco. This is where Lethal resigns. Guys, not a bad reaction. Not a bad coming back by Lethal. But definitely should have utilized buying elite camel and some more camel upgrades and building a few extra camels and stables instead of keeping production up on those skirmishes. Those skirmishes were not as important anymore. At least 20 elite camels would have sufficed in that battle, in my opinion, with at least feudal age and castle age researches. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I did not execute that well, but I definitely had the right idea, guys, and the strategy worked. Definitely had the right idea. It was my first time trying this strategy, and definitely executed it well as well. Notice the expansion, guys. We had 1, 2, 3. Our 4th TC was here. Notice all the floating stone. Could have built 2 more defensive castles. That was another mistake by Lethal. Floating wood. Just a lot of pressure. And, guys, that's what happens when you kind of think back and forth, giving up or keeping going with the game. Red has 176 pop. Didn't lose that much pop because his units were all pretty much upgraded. No elite Janissary, but definitely Hussar cut in. Good transition by Red. Floating so much gold. Definitely felt the pressure from the 4 relics collected. There are 5 relics in the map, weren't there? Forgot about this relic. Rip. So there are 5 relics, but Red did forget about that relic with the early pressure from my longsword siege tower rush, guys. Enough said. Definitely playing aggressive here, so not walling off. Floating resources, a few little things and tips and tricks we learned, guys. Definitely could utilize the market. Definitely could prioritize certain things over other things, like we could have stopped skirmisher production, built a few more stables, totally stopped villager production, and slinged resources to buy elite camel, to buy some resources, guys. At this point, the army was the most important thing. Once we won that battle, we could have kept expanding, keep pushing forward, and whatnot. And also learning not to give up, guys. I was back and forth in my head a few times during this game. Should I keep going? Should I not keep going? I decided to keep going, and staying positive is the most important thing. You can always come back and win games, guys. Notice that disadvantage. We had like 50 pop against 70, and at one point he was at 120, we were 85, and next you know he was at around 150, and we caught up to at 135. So we definitely came back in the game and lost the battle, which eventually lost us the game. Guys, GG, well played. Let's take a quick look at the score and call this stream. 2,700 military economy. Definitely did a lot against our military because we lost a lot of long swords at the beginning. 2,500 technology, guys. We had a lot of technology research. We're trying to go for camels and elite skirmishers, so we definitely transitioned from long swordsmen. And we had to, guys. Gunpowder counter long swordsman, guys. Notice the largest army, 69, 64. We just didn't have enough camels. We only had like 15 camels and they weren't fully upgraded, so that was bad. And his Janissaries made short work of those camels. 173 units killed. We lost six. We only killed 62, but we lost 175. So definitely had a huge disadvantage this game when it comes to came to numbers and resources invested into those numbers. Red lost more buildings. Definitely raised more buildings than us. Well, technically, we lost more buildings. We killed 3 of his buildings. So, yeah, my bad, guys. Red lost less buildings, killed more buildings, had a larger army, converted to units. Good for Red. Definitely did well this game. 20,000 food collected. We had more wood because we were building siege, so that kind of helped. And we had skirmishers, which are wood as well. 12,000 gold, 6,000 gold, guys. 2,700 stone. Didn't drop the castles. Ripperino. Notice the timings 10 minutes, 10:21, 10:11, 14 minutes, 16:09, a little later because we were taking our time with it. But Imperial Age was a little earlier, surprisingly. We got to Imp earlier than Red. Society, guys. 3 castles, 2 castles. Could I add more? Rip. 2,600 relic gold. That definitely plays a huge role, guys. In 111 villagers, we had 110, but we were playing catching up. So he had more villagers, more resources in the long run. Eco usually wins games, and definitely battles can be a turn of events, guys. So GG, well played. Had one great battle in the end. Red came out on top with a victory. Guys, as always, till next time, stay lethal. Peace out.